let's talk about the Twitch lawsuit. So if you guys are not aware of what happened, there was a lawsuit between a guy named Phantom Lord and Twitch from years ago. We're like 5 years ago, where he was banned, and he argued that he was banned wrongfully. He said that Twitch broke their partnership agreement. He said Twitch are being fraudulent here. They are committing fraud, saying that I am associated with a CSGO skin gambling website, which I'm not affiliated with, that I don't work with. And he got banned years ago. And, you know, with a lot of Twitch bans, I mean, I got banned and then unbanned. A lot of them are a little bit sus, and there isn't a lot of clarity with them. But Phantom Lord said, no. You guys are cheaters. you guys are breaking the law. And so he took him to court. And then he won. He beat Twitch.
It wasn't fast, but he won.
Yeah.
and think about that, dude. Like, I think people are going to, well, let's actually first, how much did he win? So this guy wrongfully banned on Twitch wins his lawsuit on every account. For people who don't know, like, when you usually do a lawsuit, there's like several different claims that usually are discussed, because you don't necessarily win all of them. You'll like win some of, you know what I mean? So this guy won on every account. So and Twitch was claiming fraud against him. So Twitch was kind of had their own version of the story, and they just lost on everything. How much did he win, Mtashed?
$20,000. Not 20 million. $20,000. Almost nothing.
What the heck?
There's no way he didn't lose money on lawyer fees. There's
no
way.
Unless that was covered. Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying, was like, maybe that was part, like that's actually what he got out of it. I don't know. But you would imagine, especially if it dragged on that long, that's not going to cover your costs.
Maybe, yeah, it could have just been that was what he won, and they had to cover his lawyer fees. That's
usually that's a part of it, yeah.
So it should be said that that's not a lot of money. I think so. You think you beat Twitch in a lawsuit, you're gonna get bank, but this guy got nothing. But think about that for a second. Think of the how many and how but how many and how good of the lawyers Twitch has on retainer. They work for Twitch. They work for Amazon. These guys are the creme de la creme.
Well,
right? These guys
say that though, and then you look at the people that are running all their PR and right, and their marketing, and it's like, well, maybe they don't.
Maybe their lawyers are like the people from like the commercials, like, call Douglas and Douglas. Have you have mesothelioma? Call.
Yeah. Wait, someone's suing us? Call the number 1-800.
Yeah, exactly.
But here's the thing: is they did lose. And they committed fraud, saying that he broke his partnership, and he didn't. And they lost. They lost on every single count, right?
Yeah.
But how many other people have been banned wrongfully?
There's
how many other
blood
people?
in the water now,
right? There is a lot of people that have probably been banned. And at this point, it's like, well,
dude, Dr. Disrespect?
Bingo.
We never heard the story about that.
Dude, I still want to know.
I still want to know what happened to Doc, baby. But like, something, man.
Yeah, and like, are they going to have to start giving exact breakdowns, showing the minute you got banned and why you got banned? Because if they don't, how do we know this isn't happening again?
And
to Doc, to me, you know, like,
I agree. Very importantly, also, this sets legal precedent, because anytime there's a court case that's settled, lawyers will use past court cases to establish, hey, this is precedent on what's been set. So. And then it's much more likely the judge rules in your favor if previous cases in court have been settled in similar things in your favor. So now, like you said, Tash, and like you guys, I think you guys both said, all these other people that have wrongful bans, they can take this court case, and that will bolster their cases quite a bit, actually.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
So this is huge, dude. Like, could we see Dr. Disrespect suing Twitch?
Here's the
going
thing,
after them?
The thing about the Doc situation that I don't know, that confuses me is I feel like if it was wrongful, he would have gone after him, because you think about how much money he would make in a suit like that, where he can say, listen, you banned me wrongfully. And if he can prove it was a wrongful ban, he can sue them for the money that he should have made in the following days and months. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's pretty standard.
Who's to say he isn't? Who's to say he isn't? Because someone who is suing someone and who has actual good lawyers, they're not talking about it, right? Like they're not going to pretend, and they're not going to say anything. their lawyers are doing it, and they're either going to go to court or they're not, right?
Right.
So maybe
Right.
he is, but
You don't know. I
you
mean,
know?
this one was 2016, so you never know. I mean, obviously, Doc's situation was much more recent than that.
Do you
Right.
think also that you could argue that like maybe Doc is like maybe Dr. Disrespect realizes that like maybe he got a big bolster from that because like there's so much interest and intrigue, and then the return, dude, there was like 300,000 or like more people watching like basically a static screen. Remember, because he was like the return, and like, he didn't even return that. It was like a setup stream. I think it was like to test things. There's so many people watching just that stream, so he got like a second wave of like people and interest when he returned on YouTube.
Right.
Because of this scandal. I wonder if like metrics wise that almost like benefited him.
Here's the thing. There is 100% at Twitch people there that have power, that have abused power, that have banned people that shouldn't be banned, that don't ban people that should be banned. Hassan was one of the people that completely abused his power multiple times. So who's to say that hasn't happened multiple times in the past and won't happen in the future?
Yeah, it's
right?
so obvious. Like
we know the guy. Like I've sat down to dinner with that guy, and like I have met him. I've talked to him one-on-one, and he 100% abused his powers multiple times. And so if they don't have any balances and checks, that this stuff goes unchecked forever. And with this lawsuit, maybe it's the beginning. And I think that there should be a much better system explaining what moment in that stream got me banned. What is the exact thing that got me banned there, so I can understand it and not do it again. But they're just like, hey, you know what? You're banned 7 days. See you later. And we won't tell you what it was. We'll give you an approximation. It was something to do with music. Knowing that.
Yeah. So like I think that's a good point. I think this hopefully will signal a shift of like these big tech companies shouldn't be able to get away with whatever they want, because it's like, people will make, oh, it's a private company. Shut the hell up. All right. Like this company is operating in a public space, and importantly, it preaches this relationship. It draws people in, draws creators in, like, we're in this together. We're growing together. We're here to help you. You're here to help me. People don't go to Twitch for Twitch. They go to Twitch for creators. And so it's so wrong that Twitch will like just completely dump on these creators and then like not provide communication, not provide the reasons for bans. Like sometimes it turns out to be like false bans, like something is falsely flagged or whatever. And it's like they should be, in some ways responsible, because it's like that's that creator's loss of revenue.
Well, right? Like if you can mess with my $100,000 revenue stream, you should probably be liable. Like if they can just shut down someone's stream that has 10,000, 20,000 subs, it's like you're making you're making a 6-figure decision here that I can't compete with.
Yeah, and it goes beyond just bans. One of the situations that sticks out to me is you have a situation like Geek Chick, who took a contract with Facebook. She served her time over there at Facebook, fulfilled her contract, and then when she was done with that, she decided, all right, I'm going to head back to Twitch. And she figured that was the best thing for her channel. She goes back to Twitch, and it almost seemed, and, we don't have any confirmation of this, but it really read like Twitch being vindictive towards people who took contracts and bailed, and then came like, oh, you just want to come strutting back? You think you're going to get your partnership back? And,
that was
and
weird
they denied her partnership for almost a whole year. Well, she's meeting she meets ticks every box for all the requirements for partnership. She applies, denied, applies, denied, applies, denied. It took pissing and moaning on Twitter and on social media and getting a lot of people backing her and validating her story. Like, listen, Twitch, you guys got to get this. You got to restore her partnership because she's losing income here,
And I think now though, I think now that these companies might have to realize like people are like, this whole debacle matters, and like having someone that you can reach out to that actually can help matters. And like if YouTube comes out and is like, we're going to be more transparent, we're going to tell you exactly why you got banned, there's a ban appeal process, it's not like this weird entity of basement dwellers who decide this and like you can't interact with them. Right now on YouTube, I should be clear, that's not the case. Like there's been people who've gotten like their videos have been flagged for whatever, and that it's like was not true, and the people who do the flagging are some like entity that like you can't even, people who work at YouTube can't even get contact with these people. It's so bizarre. So that's not the case right now. But if YouTube does come out and say this, that's like a thing that will attract a lot of people, because your audience will not all of them, but your core audience will move with you, and so we could see things changing dramatically.
So a couple of things I want to just touch on the YouTube stuff. I was actually watching Asmongold the other day, and he was doing a bunch of like Google Trends stuff, and he Googled like Twitch versus YouTube, and obviously there's a lot of just video content on YouTube. It's going to be bigger, but it is like 50 times bigger. Like it is so much bigger, it's not even funny. And you know, live streaming here, I don't think it's as popular in a lot of people's eyes, but there are some creators that are succeeding. But also, they keep adding features that are going to allow it to be easier to succeed and monetize it. I just shared a picture of it today in our group chat. They've started adding like almost like an applause. It's called applause. And so on anyone's video on YouTube, when they have this feature enabled,
people who have like you have to. It's like you can enter for this beta,
and it's like it's kind of like the cheer or the super chats on a live video. So I mean, more people are going to be coming to YouTube and interested in YouTube. And if they keep adding features, like why would you stay on Twitch at this point? It is a nightmare over there in a lot of cases.
Which is like an interesting feature, because like for me, like I've never turned on the like channel member things, right? Because I feel like I can't provide, like I don't live stream, so I don't really have a place for these emotes. If you could use emotes in normal chat, I think they're working on that. That's one thing, which is funny because it's like Reddit is like, he's so greedy, he makes his videos over 10 minutes. Meanwhile, I literally am saying no to free money by turning on memberships. But I just feel like I can't provide enough to be worth it. I don't feel good taking people's money every month. But like an applause feature where people are just completely can go and donate, that would help me. That's something that I would consider turning on, because they would be like, hey, a bunch of people applauded this video. If it was like an opinion video or a video, that helps me tell like, oh, people really like this video. People like engage with this video, because views, you'd think that views would indicate that, and even likes. But you know, sometimes the algorithm is just like, no one's going to see your video, dummy. And so that's like a good way to tell like, oh, people are like vibing with this type of content, right? So I think that's a cool idea. But we have this whole other interesting debacle on Twitch, and that is right now the hot tub meta on Twitch. For those who don't know, if you go to, you know, just chatting, there's a lot of quite attractive girls in hot tubs, right?
They're smoking. Let's be honest. They're smoking hot.
Yeah. And so it's a very interesting, very, very interesting thing right now, because so on the one hand, you have a lot of people upset by this and saying like, you know, you have the kind of the typical people, their opinion is like, look at these like female streamers manipulating poor men. But at the end of the day, it's like, they're not making you donate, buddy. Like, but it does legitimately call into question. I think the bigger issue is like, what are we doing here with the terms of service? Like, is that allowed? And it's like, they're obviously clothed, right? There's no nudity, but it's very scantily clad. And then, you know, you have a lot of people bringing up, okay, if this is allowed, there's times that not just males, but other female creators have been banned for stuff that like there was no full nudity, but maybe it was something. I mean, the girl who did the queef girl,
right?
No nudity at all, and she got banned. So it's like, it's such a weird. The Twitch terms and service are, you know, very hard to understand. They're very, what's the word? Like, they're not specific on purpose. They're very ambiguous on purpose. Yeah. So it feels like that they can ban or not ban people on a whim, because it's like no one understands where they fall. Yeah. So it's like it's bringing up this huge debate on like, what are these terms of service like for?
Right.
Yeah, I know a lot of people have varying opinions. One of the things I see a lot is people are like, I don't think this is right, because it's somebody that's not actually trying to make. They're not actually working hard for good content. They're just showing their bodies and making money. And one of the things that I keep coming back to is, listen, I'm a grown man. I'm a 33-year-old male, and I know how hard it is to keep a body in good shape. Like, you gotta say, at
these
least
girls hit the gym. That's for sure.
Girls, let's not say there's no work involved, because it is a lot of work to keep a body in good shape. So I'm not out here to shame anyone for easy. I know that content may at the surface level look easy. But yeah, I think where it gets sticky is where you start tying in things like innuendo, like what is the girl doing actively? Is she doing something that is suggestive of maybe more sexual content, like the interactions with bananas and stuff like that, right? That's where the gray areas come in, and where Twitch is like, they've got a way. Do we need to be a little bit more specific with the way that we write our terms of service so people could clearly say, this is a line I cannot cross, and this is what's safe?
Yeah, and it's also like I would assume though that they would be like a mature audience stream. Like you'd have to be above 18 to watch that stream, right? I would assume.
Well, not necessarily unless the content creator marks it down.
That's
Right.
okay, and that is like another issue. So,
Like, are you going to have to mark it down if you're doing a hot tub stream? At this point, here's the thing: is Twitch has come out and said you're allowed to do it. It's in TOS. We've got our eyes on it, but like they're not breaking TOS. So if you don't like it, too bad. And you know, there are a lot of people that are like angry about it all, and they're like, well, they're stealing our viewers, boys. No one watching you. No one watching you, right? Like the people that are watching that, do you even want them in your chat? I've looked at some of those chats, boys. I've done my research. Let's just say I've done my research. Those chats are such a cesspool. You don't want them to be watching you, unless you want them to like be gawking over you, like, oh, reload that gun, TV. Oh, Kackis, beat that Nightfall.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
like someone actually made a point.
Up.
YouTube allows fully naked yoga.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many.
I think you have to.
things.
You can on YouTube. There is like you have to mark 18 plus, right? But it's like.
But if it's educational, nudity is not sexual. If you're doing, you can search. I'm gonna say you can search how to Brazilian wax, and you can find some stuff on there. You can find some major stuff on YouTube, but it's educational.
The thing is, though, you will have people abusing it. You will have people coming to as close to porn as possible without technically being it, because you do have, especially on YouTube, you do have a lot of a younger audience, and you can make your account. Yeah, I was born in 1970, lol, and there's like no checks on that, right?
Yeah.
And even Twitch, same thing. So that's where you get into quite a gray area. It's like, especially on Twitch, if you're not marking that content over 18 plus, then it's like, that's a little bit sus, because you have some teenager who, that's where you're like, maybe you are, because you have some teenager who what's happening on Twitch, clicks a thing and sees some girls in bikinis, is like, what's this, right? Like, and it's like, that should probably be marked as 18 plus content.
Sure.
That should probably be marked as a mature stream. But then it's like, should it be in its own like separate thing that you aren't able, because like you said, it's up to the creator. So it's like, you forget to mark it, you don't mark it one time.
But then the whole argument, the biggest thing is, well, why is it 18 plus? Just because she's in a bikini doesn't mean it's sexual. Just because she has a nice body, she's in a bikini, and she has less clothing than maybe I have on right now, it doesn't mean it's sexual in some people's arguments. And that's why it's such a big argument. Because there's some people that are saying, no, like, you're treating this like sex work, and it's not. She's just in a bikini. Just because she's wearing a bikini, like, there's so many layers.
But then why here. But it's like, why are you also in a pool, and why are you also riding a banana?
Because she's swimming. But that's it's such a gray area. But
honestly,
again,
like, I don't care that much.
Yeah,
and I really don't think it is taken away. It should be important. This is not taking away people's, like, people, like you said, you have this weird thing of like, it's taking away my views. It's really not. But the issue all comes back to Twitch. Twitch will go after and ban people. You know, they banned that one woman because her kid was on live stream when she was going to get groceries and stuff.
Right.
And then it's like, that is the weird part. And that is where you have to kind of step back and say, okay, there is definitely a point here of like some potential, some Twitch favoritism of like, people are getting banned left and right for the most like simple, innocent things. And then like the full bikini streams riding on a banana, Twitch is like, we're okay with that. So it's like, what are we doing here? And there's someone to clarify the rules.
And there's someone that got banned recently. I don't know. I could find it if I had some time, but apparently was on an Instagram page where the girl was in a bikini and ended up getting banned. And it's like, how? Like, yeah, you know, that's the thing too. Is
look
it's like,
at people in bikinis, but you can be in a bikini.
Yeah.
So again, this is not about I don't want people to think like we're out here like all these women are in bikinis and you can be in a bikini all you want. But the issue is again these extremely ambiguous Twitch rules.
Yeah.
Where it just seems like it's at the whim of whoever is in charge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
It
think
doesn't.
Twitch that should be one of their priorities for sure. Is they need to revisit terms of service, and they need to do away with the ambiguity, do away with all the gray areas, and let creators know beyond a shadow of a doubt this is exactly where the line is. Don't cross it. And obviously, you're always going to have some degree of ambiguity where context matters. You have to take it case by case. But yes, they need to clarify things a lot better so that creators know where those lines are. And at the end of the day, as far as the hot tub streams are concerned, I fall off the log saying I hope that Twitch allows, within reason, those things to continue, because I know that women who want to use their figure as a means of making income, I'd much rather them do it in a place where they can control their own content and not in a place where they're going to get taken advantage of. And a lot of the porn industry really does just capitalize on women. And so having a place where they can do that safely and be in charge of their own content and in charge of their own revenue streams. All right.
But I
exactly.
think Twitch
and from the safety of their home, like truly, like if you're going to do it, then at least this is an avenue that is like as safe as could be.
But then Twitch needs to come forward and say, listen, bikini streams, you can do it. If you're in a swimwear, that's okay, but you must mark 18 plus. They're probably going to say this, right? You must mark 18 plus. And, if you, and then therefore, like, that's the rules. The bikini streams allowed, in a bikini allowed, but if you are knowingly, you have to mark 18 plus. If you like accidentally stumble across, a picture or something in a live stream, obviously your stream might not be marked 18 plus, and then we'll let you slide, right? But again, we need to get these freaking rules in check, because it's not just the ambiguity. It's like people get banned and then it's like zero communication. They don't know why, they're guessing. And then it just causes a huge stink on Twitter, right? Yeah. That's the issue.
The thing is though, is you get like people like XQC who's like, get him off Twitch, because there is also the camp that's like, this is a gaming website. And so it's
certainly
not
started
even like,
as that.
It's almost like a war between it. Like they've got like this whole like army of men that are like, this can't be here.
But but it's not XQC's choice. It's not his platform. It's
exactly.
Platform. So it's whatever they want it to
be.
If
anything, that guy should be banned for certain things because he's pretty damn toxic a lot of the time. He's done some majorly toxic things. So it's like, who's to say? Like, but maybe
he has gotten banned. He has gotten banned a lot.
Yeah.
And but then that ambiguity comes up, because certain times he's been banned, it's kind of like, really, for that? Or like he's playing a video game and it's like it would be nudity or a sexuality within a video game.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, that gets you banned, but actually being in a bikini, it's again, it's just all back to the crap Twitch rules, dude.
So
it's all circles back to the crap Twitch rules, and
it all circles back to them sucking at everything. They just suck.
And I think it's also unfair to say I'm against it because I'm a parent and I don't want my children running into that. At the end of the day, Twitch is not a children's platform, and it's live content. Live content is always going to be, you run the risk of having something sketchy. It is, as a parent, I can say beyond a shadow of a doubt, it is your job to say what is okay for your kid. And if it's not okay, then you need to find ways of limiting it, making sure that you are present when they are interacting with Twitch content. There are ways to do that.
Interesting one though, because there is a ton of like family friendly streamers who is like, yeah, you can go watch, Nick A30, right? You can go watch True Vanguard. I know that guy's gonna,
but you've got to be in the room with me,
PG,
when you're watching it.
Yeah, but it's like, you could, like, I think maybe Twitch needs to maybe make it more apparent of like, or maybe crack down on like some like false accounts of people who are younger. I don't know, like Twitch maybe needs to think about that, because it certainly, what the interesting thing is?
What?
Twitch certainly tells its advertisers that it's like family friendly, because you have a lot of family friendly brands advertising on Twitch, and YouTube kind of ran into the same thing. That's why there was such a push of demonetization on YouTube, right? Because the advertisers didn't want their brands associated with bikini streams or whatever, right?
And maybe that's a good thing because YouTube Kids was born out of that fiasco. YouTube Kids is fantastic. My kids are on YouTube Kids a lot. They've got an allotted amount of screen time, and we know it's safer, so we have YouTube Kids on their devices that they can click on it and watch. And that's fine because I know that what they're going to encounter there is safe for them to view. Maybe Twitch ends up launching
Doing like a
similar
kids mode,
service and say Twitch for kids,
That's my
family
point, yeah.
Twitch, whatever.
Yeah,
That's great because then someone like me can say, "Listen, I'm a family-friendly streamer, and I check all the boxes to say I want to appear there." And I know there's going to be repercussions if I break those terms of service in a bad way on that platform.
Because you potentially the thing, one more thing would add, like you potentially have a scandal here in the same exact way that happened to YouTube, where you're some family-owned company, or you present yourself as such, and you're checking off the boxes. Where do you want to advertise on Twitch? It's like gaming, sure. Chat. It's just chatting. It's called just chatting. Sure. You don't know. And then you look, oh my gosh, it's like the bikini stream or whatever. And then it's like, Johnson & Johnson, a family company, right? It's like, you might not, but that is a legitimate issue. You might not want your brand associated with that type of stuff. And so maybe Twitch needs to like have another platform. It's like just chatting, and then it's like adult just chatting, or like an adult section or something like that.
Right.
Because I feel like we're on the cusp of exactly what happened to YouTube, and then the advertisers get mad, where it's like, I thought I was advertising on just chatting. Like, what is this? What is going on here?
Yeah, that's true.
Because
100%.
Advertisers care about that like family-friendly brand.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that was like
care about their
that was like the
perception.
Spider-Man and Elsa stuff where it was like
Yeah.
it was like Spider-Man and Elsa, but it was like it was not for kids, and people were advertising on it, and then they find out, wait a second,
Yeah,
this is
what
not
is
for
this?
kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.